Hello students. So in today's video we are going to learn about how to make inferences of a text. This reading strategy is very useful to help you to take conclusion from the clues which usually haven't stated explicitly in the text. So if you already learned the previous learning material of previewing, you will note that making inference is the next step to take after previewing. Just like what I said before, today we are going to talk about the inference. That is why this course is designed to make you able to first define the facts and inference in paragraphs. Second, to separate facts from inferences. And the last is to make inferences by yourself. Well, still about the objective of this course that you have to remember this. And it is important to know how to distinguish facts from inferences in order to build your critical and analytical thinking. But before we begin, I'll remind you to prepare some papers or notebook, or if you want to go paperless, just go ahead. That would be better because it would save our forest. Well, anyway, don't forget that this is an online video, meaning that you can replay it at any time and anywhere when you need it, but still you can use your laptop, cell phone or tablet. Well, without further ado, let's get the lesson. Generally, good readers make inferences as they read. That is, in addition to reading the word, they use their imagination, their experiences, their prior knowledge about the word to fill in the facts and ideas that are not stated in the text. This action is sometimes called as reading between the lines. It is often necessary to read between the lines because a writer cannot include all the possible information about a topic or situation. In many kinds of writing, the author presents the facts about situation or topic and also make inferences from those facts. That is why making inferences is necessary because a writer often leaves out information that they think readers will know already or will able to guess it. Well, I would like to explain it from the basic concept before showing you the way how to make inferences from text. So, let's start from the definition first. What is fact? Fact is a statement of information that can be verified, and it is usually an objective one. So if the information is taken from scientific data, statistic, universal truth, the information here can be verified and it is called as fact. To take an example, well, if I say that it's 36 degrees Celsius outside and my shirt is wet because of sweat, and I thought that it is the hottest day ever. From my statement, which information that you can verify its trustiness? Well, it's correct. The information about the degrees of temperature is the fact because it is verifiable. We can check the heat through thermometer and I believe that it is measurable. The illustration about the wet shirt is also another fact. We can observe it, the wet visually. Other than that, the information of it's very hot or it's the hottest day ever, it is debatable. Why I said so? Well, because the temperature of 36 degrees for some people can be very hot, but for the others it might be comfortable. Well, what about inference? Well, to infer the facts, it's like to make a conclusion about the condition. So it's like a judgment, but we have to make the judgment as logical as possible. Or some say it is called as you have to make educated judgment as your inference. As a definition, that inference is educated guess that is based on fact. That is why your guess must be an educated one. So let's try to distinguish fact from inference. Here I have two paragraphs that I happen to reorder it in form of numeric order. And let's try to identify whether the statement is fact or inference. Well, you might pause the video right here if you want to a few times to read this statement first. So what is your answer for this first statement? Chile is considered one of the most conservative Catholic countries in South America. Well, what about this? Is it fact or inference? Yes, it's fact. Why? Well, because we can verify the information about Chile as one of the most conservative in South America because it is a general information. So that is why it is a fact. What about the second number? If your answer is inference, you get it right. Why? This statement is subjective. Let's see. People in Chile are not as conservative as generally thought. So this statement is subjective. It's debatable. And what about the last statement in this paragraph? It also inference. Why? So you have to pay attention to the word of want. This statement uses wants. That is why it is more like an opinion rather than a fact, so it is inference. Now you can continue distinguishing fact from inference for the second paragraph. Here we have three other statements. Okay, so what do you think for number one? Right, it is facts because it provides numbers, date, and this is historical information. What about the second number? So Michelle Bachelet's background and experience should help her understand the problem in Chile. What do you think about this? Should help. Right. It sounds like more opinion rather than facts, so it is inference. What about the last one? The fact that she served as defense minister may have reassured conservatives afraid of radical change. You may take a look at here. We have the words of the facts. However, instead of having the word of facts, this statement is inference. Why? Because it's subjective. It is a state that it may have reassured. So it's like an opinion rather than the fact. So let's move to the more challenging part of this topic, which is making inference by yourself. But once more, you have to keep in your mind that inferences are ideas that are not stated directly, and so you have to draw a logical guess by considering things you see or heard or read. I'll show you an illustration how to make a good inference. Here I have a picture in which a couple of men and women are going to dine in a restaurant, and this is a cloud showing a statement spoken by the man, and the man says that I'm thinking this isn't the best time to try this restaurant. Well, we see that announcements also posted at the restaurant door. We can read that help wanted, chef, dishwasher, and wait staff. So Which inference is most logically based on the information suggested by this cartoon? What do you think? Let's take a look closer on the sign of the help wanted. So the sign here indicates that the restaurant is in serious understaff. That is why the option A is the best answer. It would be logical then to infer that the restaurant cannot provide patron with a good dining experience. So it means that the conclusion is a logical inference that the couple is not likely to have a good dining experience at the restaurant. So what about option B? Well, the couple, option B says that the couple will never eat at the restaurant. So let's see. Here in the illustration, the man's comment that it isn't the best time to try this restaurant. So it suggests that he may be willing to try the restaurant once the restaurant has solved its staffing problems. Option B, it is not logical enough to make a conclusion as that the couple will never eat at the restaurant. Look also, well, based on our experience as the reader, if we find this kind of announcement, help wanted announcement, it suggests that it is common for restaurant to change the ownership or of the management that causes they are understaffed. So this one is not logical. Now, what about these two options? You see, the restaurant was recently closed for health violation, or D, whoever is running the restaurant is not doing a good job. Which one is more logical based on the information suggested by this cartoon? Right, if your answer is D, so you get it right. We'll see. As a reader, our experience tells us that good managers usually able to hire and retain qualified employees. And the help wanted here sign suggests quite the opposite, that the number of employees have recently quit or been fired. That is why whoever is running their restaurant is not doing a good job. So this one is a logical inference. Another explanation is that the lack of staff in turn has caused the couple to decide against dining there clearly, so there is no way to run a business. What about the option C? Well, maybe you need to take closer a look if your answer is C, because the option of C is the incorrect option. Why? So because nothing in the cartoon suggests that the restaurant was recently closed for health violation. So you can make your own assumption. Then there is not a logical inference. Well guys, so I'll repeat. The main points about making inference is about how to we as a reader make a logical leaps from information stated directly to ideas that are not stated directly. So we have to we have to make a conclusion based on provided fact, and after that we have to add up with our own experience, our own imagination, our own knowledge. But remember that the additional information that we have to provide it is a logical one. And to make inferences, we use all the clues provided by the writer, as I said previously, already mentioned about that. So something like that. So we have to pay attention to the clues provided by the writers, and you may add up with your prior knowledge, with your prior experience, or maybe your own imagination. But remember that the experience or knowledge that you add up must be a logical one. So the combination among clues, experience, and logic make a good inference. Well, to check your understanding about inference, so here I give you 5 seconds to read this paragraph. We have a short one paragraph about a sociology professor. Which inference is logically based on the information provided? Is it A, that the professor did not believe students could punctuate the words correctly, or B, the professor knew there was more than one way to punctuate the words correctly? Which one is correct? A or B? What do you think? Right, if you choose B as your answer, you have a good logical inference. Now, look at the arrows are provided here. We know that the professor chose the particular sentence, a woman without her man is nothing. And after that, he added up with a smile. Smile while writing the word. So from this explanation, we can conclude that the professor was aware of more than one punctuation possibly made by her students. So that is why option B is a logical inference that the professor knew there was more than one way to punctuate the words correctly, whether a man without her man is nothing, or a woman without her man is nothing, or a woman without her man is nothing. So the option B is the logical inference. What about option A? The professor did not believe students could punctuate the words correctly. So we cannot find this explanation. Nothing in this passage implies that the professor doubted student ability to punctuate the words correctly. So this one is not a inference. Now, which inference is logical based on the information provided? Still about the professor and the punctuation. Is it A, or is it C, or D? Right, the answer is D. Gender differences cause students to read and punctuate the professor words differently. So male and female students have very different responses to the sentence. It means that gender was the only apparent difference among the students. So we can conclude that it caused the different responses. And this one is difference. What about this? The professor is not a good teacher. We cannot say that. Why? Because there is no suggestion in the passage that the professor is a poor teacher or a bad teacher. In fact, the professor had chosen a dramatic way to suggest that each sex sees the world from its point of view. So the option C is incorrect. Well, so again, I'm going to sum up the definition of making inference. So making inferences, or some people say that it is also drawing conclusion, is about discovering the ideas that are not stated directly in a text. Well, now it is time for exercise. Here I have an exercise. This passage was taken from your module. It's already provided there. You can check by yourself. And the title is A New Pesticide in India. This passage consists of 3 paragraphs. And here I have 2 questions for the first paragraph. The first one is what facts are included in the first paragraph. Okay, at this time you have to recall your understanding about facts that already explained previously. And the second, what can you infer about the cause of pesticide in India? So you may pause at the moment if you need some time to read the passage first. Well, okay guys, so what facts are included in the first paragraph? I'm going to highlight the facts. The first one, this is fact. The first sentence in this paragraph, these are facts. Why? We can find the evidence that the farmers in India have discovered a new kind of pesticide. Okay, and also this one, instead of paying large sum of money to international chemical companies for chemical pesticide, they are spraying their cotton and chili peppers fields with Coca-Cola. This one is also fact because we can observe the action. And second question, what can you infer about the cause of pesticide in India? So what can you infer from the facts? Right, if you infer the information about the cost of pesticide, which is the price of pesticide is costly or even more expensive than the price of Coca-Cola, so you made it right. Now, okay, this is the second and the third paragraph, and here are the questions. What facts are included in the second paragraph? What can you refer about the cola spray? After that, what facts are included in the third paragraph? On what can you infer about the economic situation of the farmers in Andhra Pradesh? Well, if you need some time to read the passage, you may pause this video. Okay, guys. So have you finished answering the question? Now, I'll give you the clue. For facts that are included in second paragraph questions, you can find the facts in a first sentence and also the second sentence and the last. The interview is another facts in this paragraph. And after that, what can you infer about the cola spray? Well, let's see what this paragraph talking about cola spray. Well, one of possible inferences that we can draw about the cola spray is that the cola spray is dangerous enough. Why? Because it contains chemical substance which is effective to kill the insect in a very short time. What about question number 3? What facts are included in this third paragraph? Okay, the first statement, this is fact. Second statement, also fact. Now, what can you infer about the economic situation of the farmers in Andhra Pradesh? I'll show you the clue or the clues. Pay attention to the use of the word cost considerably less, and after that, what was that? The Coca-Cola company took water away from farmers. That is make them a cost for its bottling plant. So what can you infer from uh, the statements about the economic situation of the farmers then? Right. One of possible inferences that we can draw is that um, the farmers are poor farmers because they cannot afford to buy the pesticide, and that is why they try to find the alternative, which is considerably less costly. And after that, they also face a hard situation because of limited supply of water, as the bottling plants of Coca-Cola took away the water from their fields. So that is the influence of the economic situation of the farmers in Andhra Pradesh. Oops, it seems that this is the ending of this session. So well, I hope that you can grasp the main points of topic of discussion today. However, if you still find any difficulties or if you have any inquiries or question related to this topic, you can still contact me, or you may refer to your module. It has been uploaded on e-learning. You can check by yourself. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay at home due to this pandemic condition and stay healthy. One last, my credits goes to SlideSchool for this presentation template and Microsoft PowerPoint 365 for PowerPoint presentation. Thank you.